Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that's Connor, and we are going to talk about Iron Fist, Season 1, Episode 11. It's called Lead Horse Back to Stable. Full spoilers for the episode.
Nearly there. Nearly there, folks.
Just two
a
more.
few more.
And in this scenario, I guess Danny's the horse, given the plot of what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to be blunt at the start of this one. I'm going to be blunt. Obviously, our opinion of this started off mediocre. It's deteriorated over the season. This was one of the most uneventful hours of TV I have ever had the misfortune to sit through.
It was just downright tedious. More than it wasn't even insultingly bad. It was just tedious.
It was scene after scene of long conversations full of information that was redundant for the most part to us. We already knew. And you actually, I ask you, what did we really accomplish in this episode? We accomplished one thing, and the one thing we did accomplish, I have a major problem with.
What was the one thing we accomplished?
We accomplished Colleen's magic, very quick arc of finding out, oh yeah, the hand is actually evil. Oh boy, I've made a huge mistake my whole life. Right,
Yeah.
so we accomplished that, but the problem with that is though, right, as much as I hate the whole twist that she and this group turned out to be the hand, right? We're here, we've got past that, it's just part of the plot. I accept it, right? So, we found this out last episode, and Danny was like, oh, but the hand's evil, blah, blah, blah. By the way, if I hear Danny say he's the sworn enemy of the hand one more time, I am going to find Finn Jones and slap him in the face. Because I swear, he's so one note. He just keeps repeating. Anytime someone suggests anything, not even like the opposite, just a slight suggestion to alter a plan in some way, he's like, no, I must defeat the hand. I must. He's so one note. It is infuriating.
Yeah. Can I counter that with a positive to this episode?
Sure.
Claire channeling my feelings.
Oh yeah, Claire repeatedly in this episode was
She's the champion of the people.
making sense. She was making goddamn sense, and we'll talk
Yeah,
about her.
well, I mean,
We'll talk about
in reference to Colleen.
right. Yeah,
So, Colleen, she comes up with the pizza because I guess she just interrupted the pizza person. I don't know.
she caught him and paid for it because she said she'd already paid for it. So.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Very coincidental timing, but fine. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I am part of the hand, but it's a good hand. It's a different hand."
Oh, ear, arm. Yeah.
And Claire goes, "Well, pick a different name then." It's like, yes, please do, because I hate this. Why have we got so many hands?
Why have we got so many hands? Connor Ryan, 2017.
That's what this show has reduced me to.
But all right. So here's the thing: Colleen's a character who we typically have liked.
Yeah, quite a lot actually.
Because
for this show.
Because she's not tedious like Danny is. She had the big problem where she suddenly felt like a giddy schoolgirl and had a crush on Danny when she didn't before the previous episode. It was very sudden. That was a problem.
Yeah,
But she's still typically been better than most of the cast.
definitely.
This episode kinda goes a long way to try and ruin her. Because she is so... It makes her look an idiot. She looks like a goddamn fool after this episode. Because Danny's like, no, the hand's evil. You're part of this evil thing. Why can't you see that? And she's like, no, we're good. We do good things. And within one episode, by the end of one episode after this, he's having this discussion with her in this very episode. And by the end of it, oh no, Bakuto?
Yeah, well done.
Hey, Bakuto is like, oh no, you betrayed me. You were meant to tell me about Danny. We'll have to kill you, basically. He just goes full evil in front of her, and after it's like, had this played out for a while, had she inadvertently seen something or heard something that would lead her to believe this, but no, within an hour, within one episode, we got the, oh no, they're really evil, I've made a huge mistake. And that ends up being the finale of the episode. The actual thing that Danny and Davos have been building to all episode, we don't even get. We're saving that for next time.
So, do you remember a few episodes ago when I said I really hope they don't just ruin Colleen because she's the one thing I liked?
I do recall, yes.
Yeah. Well, they're doing the damnedest, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what really bothers me about this? She truly believed that they were doing good. She was recruiting these. At least I believe that she believed that. That's the way it's presented to me. She was like, "Yeah, look, we train them to be doctors. We give them a place to feel like a family." And she genuinely believed she was doing something good with her life. And Danny, obviously, he also believes he's doing something good, and that's fine. He's like, "Hey, you've kind of been brainwashed," and the other people have kind of said to him that he's kind of been brainwashed by Kunlun, right?
Fair point. Fair point.
And I feel like that could have been that could have been like a really interesting way to come at this debate. Them coming at it as two people who believe what they're saying and trying to convince the other, and them both being kind of stuck in their ways. But no, they're just not going to bother with any of that, are they?
But the Hand is so obviously evil, and he is
Exactly.
obviously evil by the end of the episode, that she just looks like a complete and utter moron.
Exactly, and that it's really annoying because there is some phenomenal story potential in the core concept of them going against each other like this. I mean, I hate that this has happened to begin with, but if we had to have that.
Danny is infuriating. Every time he opens his goddamn mouth, it's getting worse. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting more annoyed at him, and therefore it's becoming more of a problem because I'm getting more annoyed by it. Like, if it's self-serving kind of thing, self-serving hatred.
Yeah.
But every time he starts a scene and he says something, I'm like, I just don't believe you. It's when he goes to Harold's place, right? And Harold's like, oh, who's the guy in the elevator that you've snuck into my building? He's like, oh, this is Davos. And Davos walks in and he turns around and goes, he's from Kunlun too. And I'm like, I don't believe you've ever been outside of this city, you pathetic little shit. I just don't believe him. I just don't believe a word that he says. Every time he talks about Kunlun in mantras and chi, it just sounds goofy. He doesn't sell a goddamn word of it. It is so...
Do you know what else really annoyed me on him going to Harold? He tells Claire he's off to Harold, right? And like he's off to speak to him.
I don't know if it specifies who he's seeing. He just says he's going to see a friend or something like that.
No, see, I thought he did
because maybe he did.
Because it annoyed me because Claire never went, "Hey, isn't that the one Gao told you was evil?"
Good point. It's a good point. Yeah, so Gao actually told him he was evil, and Danny, because he is brainwashed, is like, no.
He's literally ignored that and not mentioned it once. Not even asked Harold, "Hey, are you involved in this?"
That was our big complaint. That was our big complaint in that scene, that he immediately went, "Oh, the truth serum's not working. Hey, it's not working. That everything he's saying is clearly a lie because it can't be true." Or she's saying, rather.
Yeah.
So he is somehow still not questioning Harold, even though he's basically bringing up, hey, maybe we could murder Bakuto and deal with the Hands so that I can be outside again. Like, he's so obviously evil. And same to Joy. Why is Joy not noticing there's something wrong? I mean, she's kind of noticing it a little bit.
At least with Joy, you go, hey, she's intentionally overlooking it because she's just got her father back.
Okay, sure, right.
Fine. I can accept that as a character reasoning. Danny has no excuse other than just being a stupid twat. That's it.
He's a moron. He's a goddamn moron. And Joe, it's funny, not only did this episode try its hardest to ruin Colleen, and I don't know if she's necessarily ruined yet, she might be fine, but I've got a funny feeling that she'll be fine in Defenders. She might not really recover from this for the rest of this season, because there's only another 2 episodes. But, you know how last episode thought, oh, Davos is much cooler than Danny?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of went away after this.
I mean, I still think he's better than Danny.
Okay, better than Danny, but he's not cool anymore. Now he is just, oh, if Danny's not in the scene, Davos can be in the scene talking for 10 minutes about bugger all.
Yeah, it's like, I like the information. I don't like how it was presented, if that makes sense.
No, we just have this long scene of Claire making coffee and Davos just
spilling his life story.
Just spilling his life story. Like, oh, the Iron Fist should have been mine, but it's his. Oh, I'm sorry, I lost my temper.
Well, that's the thing. I like because obviously that's a part of his character in the comics where he believed that it was his right, and he thinks, Dan's this outsider, he doesn't deserve it, and he kind of becomes like basically a villain because of that. And I feel like that's a cool concept, but
do you know,
it's just wasted in this dialogue of one scene where there's no point to it.
It's just an exposition dump of him sitting there talking. It is so lifeless. Do you know what it reminds me of, actually, now that I'm thinking about it? Star Wars prequels. A little bit.
I'm not going to argue with it.
A little bit. I can see a bit of the Star Wars prequels.
I mean, this definitely annoys me more, because at least I had lightsabers.
Wasn't 13 episodes, I'll give it that.
Yeah, only 3.
But they were longer though. 3 2-hour plus episodes. But yeah, sure.
It's still half of this show.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. Yeah, but there's yeah, true. Okay, so the one thing I did like about Davos in this episode is he got annoyed when he's like, wait, Claire knows you're the Iron Fist, and then later when he gets taken to Harold, and Harold is like, oh, do you have an Iron Fist too? And Davos just shoots this look at Danny like, are you serious?
Who have you told?
Are you serious, mofo? Are you serious? How many people?
Yeah. Oh, just something I thought was really weird. So you know the whole place where they were last episode?
Yes.
So that was in New York? Like, the way they were talking about it. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that didn't feel like it was meant to be in New York to me.
Upstate New York, maybe?
Maybe. It felt like it was, this is a bit away. Well, when Davos comes through and is like, oh, quick, the path's open, let's go, let's run to it. And then they're like, let's just go back to your office. In this one. Yeah, it was like, well then they go, at the end of the last one, they're like, the path's open for Kunlun, let's go back.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this one, they kind of just go to Claire, and then they go to, wherever they're going to go.
Aye, the path's not here though. The path's like in China or the
Exactly. But I thought they were going to be heading straight to that direction, which is why it threw me off.
Oh no, not even remotely, because Danny's like, oh, we've still got stuff to do, and Davos is like, yeah, but when we're done, I'll agree to help you, but when we're done, you're going back to Kunlun.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and that's the whole end of the episode, is that Danny gets Colleen, and she's like upset, and it's raining,
Yeah.
and so on, very very sort of cliche kind of thing, and Danny just minutes before, and again a very long scene in the car of Davos and Danny talking to each other, and again just to explain, oh yeah, you were on the internet, that video from 5 episodes ago, remember that? Yeah, we seen that, and when I got out,
we have the internet in Kunlun.
well, now to be fair, he does say the internet's useful. He implies that they don't have it in Kunlun, and when he got out, he saw this, and that's how he found them. But yeah, so they have this long conversation, and it ends with Danny saying, yeah, when this is all done, there's nothing keeping me here. And then Davos walks in and him hugging Colleen at the end, and he clearly can tell that this is romantic feelings, and this is what's going to keep him here. And which is why I think the end game, the final fight of the season, might actually be Danny versus Davos, because Davos is like, you're coming back to Kunlun, bitch, and it's going to kick off, and it's going to be the final fight.
I just want to, on that car scene, the opening of that was possibly the moment I hated Danny the most in this episode.
Go
because Davos is like, oh, I'll drive. And Danny goes, you don't even have a driving license. And Davos goes, do you have a driving license?
Quite right.
As
Valid
we
point.
pointed out at the time. And Danny goes, no, but I'm rich, so it's okay. What is this double standard that, I mean, maybe that is real. Oh, I don't have one, so it doesn't matter, but come on. Don't be such a dick about it, Danny. How are we supposed to like you when you're like, that's fine, I can break the rules, no one gives a shit.
If someone pulls me over, I'll just hand them 1,000. just
a
couple of thousand in the pocket.
Why are we supposed to like him when that is our hero?
I don't know. I'm at the point now where I despise the character.
I actually do as well, yeah.
Oh god, it is a huge problem for the show. I mean, obviously, clearly the two huge problems are the character and the pacing and the repetitive dialogue. So that's 3
and the
problems.
awful fight scenes.
And that's number 4. But I would legitimately say that's 4th. I could actually do with shitty fight scenes if everything else was good. Like if everything else if the characters were good, if the storyline was engaging, and I cared about what was going on, I would be fine with shitty fight scenes. I'd be like, okay, sure, it's weird that the martial arts shows get shitty fight scenes, but I'm still caring about what's going on, so it's fine.
Yeah, in this scenario, the shitty fight scenes are not like, oh, this is bad and should be the worst thing about it. This is just more shit on the top of the cake.
Yeah, at least if the rest is shit, this should be the stuff that's still impressive. And it's not.
Did you see someone in the Facebook group posted a bit of an interview with Finn Jones?
I glanced at it. Yes.
Yes. Basically, it boils down to he was walked through the choreography of the fight scenes 15 minutes before the shooting of the scenes. So that's why they all look like he's going really slowly, because he doesn't know what he's doing. What a surprise.
Colleen's fight scene when she escapes from the chair.
Yeah, it's alright.
It was okay. Yeah, I mean it wasn't great, but I mean, and the standard of this show, it was up there.
Yeah, that's true.
Which was weird because they were implying some weird stuff in that scene, that her body was going to be used, like you're being given to something, as if they were going to take her organs or some shit.
Yeah, they were. Don't know what that was all about.
I don't know. We'll probably get back to that at some point, I imagine.
I doubt it. It's 2 episodes left. I'll probably just leave it for next season.
Well, no, I think it'll. Well, if it may not, but if it does come up, I think it might come up in the next 2. Like what?
Right.
What
I think I'm
for.
just being cynical at this point.
You probably are. So, yeah, and her disciples, her like former students, were being little shitheads when they were, because they were tying her up, and then it was just kind of, it was at least a little bit satisfying watching Colleen like just break their arms and shit. It's like, yeah, take it, you little shits.
It was satisfying. It was really weird when when she goes into the hospital. She goes, "Oh, I need antibiotics," and she's like, "But I could lose my job." She goes, "I'm your sensei, you bitch." It's like, do it.
Yeah. Well, and what was funny is that Bakuto used that same line on her basically earlier on in the episode.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, all right, okay, that worked on me, so I'm gonna.
But that's the thing; it didn't work on her because she ignored the order anyway.
Well, yeah, obviously we found that out later, but I mean, in the scene itself, she tried to use it, and it seemed to work, but of course, the cow ratted her out.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's the exact same as what happened with her and Bakuto. It seemed to work from his perspective.
Oh yeah, true.
And then she was like, and then she ignored it.
That's true.
And this girl, she seemed to work from her perspective, and then she ignored it. It's just maybe when she went, hang on, I just had some guy just did this on me, and I'm gonna ignore it. Maybe it won't work.
So I just want to sum up again how little actually happened in this episode. How much of it was just pointless talking. We had see to start with Danny and Davos. We had tons of stuff at Claire's house. We then had Colleen outside Claire's house. We had Colleen and Danny on the roof of Claire's house. We had Danny and Davos in the car. We had Harold and Joy, and we had Harold and Joy with Danny and Davos. Like, all these scenes filled up pretty much all the screen time, and it was mostly.
It's all right. They
nothing.
get to explain it all to Ward when he gets out of the psych ward next episode.
Yeah, there was no Ward, so yeah, they're going to have to tell him everything. Joy's probably going to end up trying to find him. She's like, all right, he's been, Harold's been weird. She's going to get scared enough that she's going to actually run off to Ward. It's like, what, was he always like this? Like, when you were seeing him all these years, was he like this? Is there a way to deal with him, kind of thing? I can see her going looking for him, if that's what comes to pass. Now, the one thing we have glossed over is we have glossed over the opening scene and a scene in the middle, which we kind of get to see Kunlun.
Yeah.
Although they really cheaped out, because we don't get to see a scene inside a Kunlun, we get to see a scene
outside a cave.
Outside a cave in a sort of mountain area where there's a green screen shot of Kunlun from the distance.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me. See the comic book, from what you've read of it, is there actual more of Kunlun where he's training and stuff?
Yes, absolutely. I've read the Immortal Iron Fist stuff. I read 2 trays, about 15 issues worth, and probably about a good third of that at the very least is inside Kunlun.
Right, because I really thought before this show started that's what this was going to be. It was going to be, not to compare it to Arrow, say it should be like Arrow, but I legitimately thought this season would have flashbacks repeatedly, every episode, or at least major flashback episodes sprinkled in with him.
Sure, that's weird. Actually, almost all the Netflix shows have had like a flashback episode.
Except this one.
We've
got 2 left. Next one could be a flashback.
And to be fair, 11 was the one where they sat around and did nothing. That typically tends to be the shit episode.
True. Yes, Jessica Jones' worst episode was episode 11. That is true.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
This. I'm just assuming the pattern holds.
Maybe, I don't know. But oh god, this was just so much talking about nothing. It was so tedious. Nothing was happening. And
that's the thing. Just nothing. It's not that nothing happened like physically. It's that nothing happened. Anything like the dialogue accomplished nothing. No one came out of this change really, other than Colleen, who shouldn't have been changed.
The dialogue goes round and round in circles. It is insane. And yeah, you get a little joke where Davos is like trying to eat pizza, but most of it is just.
Do you know what's annoying me most about this now? I feel like this show has caused us to just be going round and round in circles, going, yeah, stop giving us the same shit. Because that's what it is. Every episode is the same problems again and again and again. It's just that they're worse and more noticeable, especially in an episode like this, where that's all it is. It's just these problems. It doesn't even have the other bits sprinkled in.
It's all it is. The only thing of relevance was the Colleen plot, which, Even and again, it felt rushed. And again, it feels weird seeing something on this show felt rushed because nothing else has been. It's been tediously
Well,
the
no,
opposite.
this is the thing. It's so slow, and then every so often things just snap forward when they shouldn't. There's no, it doesn't. They don't grow. They're slow, they're slow, and then they jump forward 3 episodes worth at once.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god. Literally, all you needed in this episode was really the couple of Colleen scenes towards the end. They even need all of them.
Yeah, you're right.
Didn't even need all of them, but it just. And again, I've said this a few times in a couple of these reviews. You can give me an entire episode where it's just two characters talking, and it can be riveting. But it's all about what they're saying, what they're saying means, and it's not just reiterating information and exposition. If that's all they're doing, a good conversation, like a conversation between two characters that feels like a game of chess where they're trying to outwit each other or something like that, that can be riveting. That can be fascinating. This is not. This is the complete and total opposite. This dialogue is worse than most network TV shows we watch.
It is, and it's like even when you have him talking to Harold, a villain, there's no like usually when you have a hero talk to a villain, they don't know it. There's kind of the double entendres of the dialogue and like the playing with each other.
Even Smallville, when Clark and Lex were like friends, had more nuance than the scenes with Danny and Harold, where he's so oblivious. It is unreal. It is unreal.
At least Clark questioned Lex every so often.
That's episode 11, guys. We've got 2 more left. Let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. Helps us out a lot if you do. Get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. Individual Twitters are on the screen for me and Connor if you want to see what we're saying on a regular basis.
It's kind of just more Iron Fist shitting on at the minute, I'll be honest.
There's a fair bit of... I think I grunted after I watched this episode earlier with some thoughts. But... Nah, that is episode 11 Iron Fist. 2 left, both coming tomorrow. We're almost done. We're at the end of the road almost. End is nigh. 2 more hours. God damn it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have you got any vanilla?